think it's a game.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about Toya Wright, aka used to be Toya Carter, was Lil Wayne's ex-wife, now married to Memphis Wright, and they're supposed to be separated, having issues, maybe or maybe not, trying to work through it, who knows. And my video is not to come down on Toya, because you cannot penalize any person for what their family member, husband, friends, whatever have done. But we just gonna talk about it, and a lot of people say, well, why do you have to bring up Toya's name? Well, because if we don't bring up Toya and then bring up Lil Wayne, then it's like, you don't even know who the hell we talking about. So that's why. But it's not for any reason to come down on her. I actually really like Toya, to be honest. But she has a lot going on, and I actually really feel sorry for her, to be honest. Okay, so let's just get into this. So she got issues with her brothers, and then her husband, who she separated from, allegedly. Well, they have confirmed that they're separated, but there still seems to be love in the air, which I guess was with anybody. If you love somebody, you love them. Okay, so when it comes down to her brothers, she has two brothers named Casey and Walter. You all might have remembered them from when Toya had her own reality show. Because first her and Tiny had the reality show, and then Toya went on to have her own, reality show. Now, at the time, it seems like the whole family was working together. Their whole mission was to try to, keep their mom off of drugs and stuff like that. Because Toya would get in her car and be driving around town, to try to find her mom and keep her clean, as far as clean off of drugs and stuff. And so then she had Casey, which his nickname is Rudy. He was living with Toya, and Toya was trying to help him to get his GED. I don't think he could, I don't think he made it that far in school. I'm just saying, but she was trying to help him out. Now, Walter and Casey and all of them you saw in the reality show when Toya had went to go try to help her mom open up a restaurant, because her mother cooks and stuff like that. But I just don't think her mother could really kick that drug habit. Now, I know that at least Casey and Toya had some type of falling out sometime back, long before this here came about, because he was on, it was either Twitter or Instagram, one or the other, and he had left this long message to Tiny, which everybody knows that Toya and Tiny are friends, and they used to have that show, Tiny and Toya. And so Casey was basically saying to Tiny that she's such a good, person, and that, she's always been like a sister to him and all this type of stuff. And, basically like Tiny has always had his best interest at heart. Basically like Toya didn't give a fuck about him. And I think, and I don't know, but I think a lot of that comes from, how it is with family. If you got a couple dollars or whatever, everything is all good until you don't give them what they want. And then when they don't get what they want, then you all types of, you don't give a fuck about them and stuff like that. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't have any receipts for all that, but that's just what I think, what took place. Because, when I saw the show, Toya was taking very good care of her entire family. Okay. So anyway, moving forward, her brothers, Casey and Walter, robbed a bank. Okay. Now, what happened is the ex-girlfriend, or well, it's the ex now, was working at the bank. So she had gave them the whole layout of the bank, all the inside information or whatever. And they had went and got $200,000 from the safe. Now, this is all according to court documents, okay? And so they got caught up from DNA. Okay, so of course they're going to get a lot of time behind that. And I'm sure the girl is going to get a lot of time too, because she's the one who, told them the layout of the bank and what to do and how to do it and all that kind of stuff. Now, which makes the fucking shit just ridiculous is they did all of this shit so that they could buy fucking jewelry, fucking weed, and produce fucking music videos. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so they did all of that for what? The oldest brother is 33. That's Walter. Casey, I'm not really for sure. But he was always younger, because I remember like I said, she was trying to help him with his GED and all that kind of stuff or whatever. But anyway, so I do feel, I feel really bad, honestly, for Toya, because even if her and her brothers have had fallen out, she has to live and deal with the fact that her brothers are going to be put away. You know what I'm saying? And even when you and your brothers or sisters have differences, you still love them and have love for them. So that's sad. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into her husband. I'm going to say husband because they are legally still married. So I will refer to him as that. Okay, so when it comes down to Toya and her husband, I just feel like I think a lot of the problems in their relationship came from outside sources and then probably some inside the source. You know what I'm saying? Inside of their own home. The fact that, she said 8-day pass and all this type of shit, which I don't really know what that was all about. But the fact of the matter is, K. Michelle came on Love and Hip Hop or whatever and was telling a story about her being abused. Mona Scott, being who she is, contacted Memphis ahead of time to let him know what was going to be said and what was going to be aired on TV. She gave him a chance to come on the show to defend himself. Toya told him, no, God, no, you will not. Because she already watches the show clearly and she knows what it's about. So she's like, you're not coming on there for that bullshit. So once K. Michelle came out and she told her story, she never really said his name, but everybody knew who she was talking about. And because he felt like he wasn't there to explain his side of the story or how things went, it's kind of like him and Toya constantly battled after that. So I think that was one part of the breakdown of the marriage. And then all the stuff, whatever she said on the marriage boot camp or whatever the fuck or whatever the hell that show, therapist. I can't take that too serious because anybody who's having issues in a marriage, I don't think they're going to go to a TV therapist. I think that's just to get a check coming on, check or whatever. So then over the summer, Memphis had went to the car wash. He had left his weed in the car, which was, I believe, Toya's Jeep or whatever. And all of a sudden his weed came up missing. So he goes back up to the car wash with a fucking gun. And it's just like, come on, like, I'm not even gonna say if it was money missing that would be acceptable, but come on, you're already going back up there about some shit that's illegal that you should have never fucking left in the fucking car while you at the car wash anyway. So that was one thing. And then after that, here recently he has gotten into it with the landlord, where him and the landlord had some type of screaming match. He told the landlord that he was going to go get a gun and he would be back. The landlord called the police, LAPD, and they came out or whatever. And Memphis said that he never said that to the landlord. Who knows? Only him and the landlord and God knows what really took place. But overall, I just feel sorry for Toya because I feel like, she's got all this shit going on around her. Her brother, which, yes, they already had some type of misunderstanding, but that's still her brother. That's still her blood. And you got not one, but you got two brothers that are going to prison. And they're going to do a hell of a lot of time for a bank robbery. That's not something you're going to get a slap on the wrist for. Then you got a fucking marriage that's basically fucked up, then fell apart. I do believe they still have love for each other, but I think so much shit has been put out in the public that it makes it hard for them to even try to work on anything, if they even want to work on it. And so, you got a marriage falling apart, family members going off to prison, and honestly, I just feel sorry for her. When she was with Lil Wayne, she was with him before he was Lil Wayne. She was with him before Hot Boys and Cash Money. She was with him before he ever made it. And to be with somebody and then you see them, turn it to somebody else, even though they have a good relationship, as parents and friends or whatever, it's like she was with him for so long and then that came to an end, and then you get your second chance in marriage thinking that this is going to be it. You know what I'm saying? This is the man I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and then that shit is all fucked up. It's just a lot of shit around her right now that's just going down. And I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about her in the 8-day pass or anything right now, because that's really not the time to do it. But overall, of course, her brothers, they did the crime. They have to pay the time. But I can only imagine that her mind, her state of mind can't be that good, because you're already dealing, like, where's her support? Like, she might have friends and shit, but it's like, where is her support? Who's there for her when your brothers are going away, your fucking husband is doing who knows fucking what, and the shit's not working right, your mother's a recovering addict? I just feel bad for her. That's all I can say. I'm just telling y'all what's been going on with her brothers, the husband. I just feel bad for Toya, watching her on Tiny and Toya, she always seemed to be a very loyal friend, a caring friend. She seems like a caring person, and I just feel bad for everything that she's going through right now. Even Memphis had put something on his Twitter and Instagram or whatever, saying that, like, he loves her, don't ever forget his kisses and things like that. So I know he still has love for her, and I know this shit might sound fucking crazy what I'm about to say, but I honestly hope that maybe somehow they can work it the fuck out, because right now she needs somebody. And it might not be him. Don't get me wrong, it might not be him, but I think she needs somebody in her corner, because she's going through a lot of shit. And none of this shit that she asked for. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she went out here and fucked up her marriage. It's not like she went out here and robbed a bank. You know what I'm saying? She has done a lot to try to hold her family down. And I feel like I can only imagine what she's going through right now. So I'm just going to send out some prayers to Toya. Y'all might not agree with me, but I just feel for her. You know what I'm saying? She has a lot of shit going on. So that's going to be the conclusion of this video. And I will be back tomorrow with my Asian taste testing part number 2. I found 1 out of the 3 items that I was told to try. And that's funny all by itself. I'll explain more of that tomorrow when I come live on a video. You all have a blessed night.